What's up, everybody? It's your boy Zach Cobb, and welcome to another episode 6 of Zach's Art-Ful podcast. I'm, of course, your host, Zach, and hope you're in store for some great podcast goodness. So kick back, relax, and enjoy the ride.
I wake up every night thinking of us, hoping we might be able to make it.
Hey, everybody, hope you're doing well. It's going to be another chill episode today, or will it? Never know. But, today I want to get into a topic that I've always wanted to try out, Let's just see how it goes today. Talk about unpopular opinions. Now, everybody's got opinions, We like stuff that other people don't, vice versa, It's all good. Taste is subjective, even when sometimes that taste is wrong, I just feel like, just want to share a little bit of my unpopular opinions, fun discussion, keep it as civil, of course. But, I just feel like it would be a really fun topic to discuss, and without further ado, let us get started. So, first we're going to be talking about music. So, I'll just get a whole bucket list of my musical opinions. First big one is that I'm not a big fan of Kid Cudi. Now, I know I know that they sound with the whole Cudi music festival cup thing that happened, but no, I'm not a Kanye stan either. We'll get back into that later. But yeah, no, I've never really been a big fan of Cudi's music. I definitely appreciate what he's done for music overall and how he's impacted people, being open about mental health and stuff. Even though hip hop has done that before, none have done it like Cudi has. So I definitely give him major props for that. But I just not really a big fan of his sound. I thought Man in the Moon was the first one was decent. Then I ended up listening to apparently the bad ones first. I forgot what the album title is called, but it was an album cover of him being in purple. It had Pharrell, Andre 3000, and Willow Smith as features on the album. That was one I listened to. I didn't care for that one as much. So maybe I just jumped on the wrong project to get into him. But yeah, I'm sorry, Cudi fans. I'm just not really that big on his music. Seems like a cool guy, but yeah, I never really cared for his stuff. Anyway, next on to the the previous mentioned Kanye. I think that Kanye is at his best in production. I don't think Kanye is that great of a rapper. I really he's not the worst rapper of all time, but I definitely there are better producer rappers out there that I think better lyrically than Kanye is. For example, LP from Run the Jewels. I definitely think he's a producer that has both great production skill and lyrical abilities to hold his own on a track, whereas Kanye is definitely majority of the time carried by his production or feature. Yeah, that's just my general thoughts about that. Another opinion that I had is I feel that Big Boy doesn't get nearly amount of love in Outkast compared to Andre 3000. Now, obviously, both of them are great rappers, and Andre's lyrical ability and uniqueness definitely is to be commended for. But I feel that Big Boy is just as much of a vital part of Outkast as Andre is. His cool persona, he has really great performances, especially on tracks like Skew It on the Barbecue, Return of the G. So many good tracks that he's been a part of, but I feel like he doesn't get nearly as much recognition or flowers compared to like someone like Andre 3000. So I feel like Big Boy should definitely get some more recognition for his impact of hip hop. My next opinion is that I feel that Big L gets left out of the conversation when it comes to talking about the greatest rappers of the 90s. Now, usually we always talk about like Tupac and Biggie, but nah. Big L, I feel like, is easily the best out of the two of them. His lyrical ability and wordplay and freestyle capabilities are top tier. Go listen, seriously, like, if you haven't listened to Big L, please listen to projects like Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous and The Big Picture. Phenomenal projects that are just as good of 90s hip hop. Sadly, he has not been able to receive the labors of his fruit because he unfortunately passed away way too soon. But he should definitely be recognized for his impact of hip hop.
The time was good, but it's all over now.
Alright. So that's been my music stuff. So now we'll get into movies. So I'm gonna state something that, you know, might hurt some of y'all, and that's okay. That's what, again, this is what opinions are for. I feel that personally, Black Panther was better in Captain America Civil War than his own movie. Now, some of you are flipping into chairs. Let me explain my case. That I felt that his character was a lot stronger, that he had a much more personal development than how he did in his own movie, because I just felt like he just was, you know, like he wasn't as impactful of a character until like the later half of the movie, compared to him in Civil War, just being bloodthirsty, continuing that hunt, being strong, and then coming to that realization by just talking. Like, literally, like, his movie is just his character arc from Black Panther. Again, you can just easily replace Killmonger with Zemo, and you'd pretty much get the majority of the same story, except that T'Challa is a lot weaker compared to how he was in Civil War. Like, yeah, he was brash. Yeah, he was upset that his dad died. Like, obviously he was so upset about it in this movie, but I felt like that one was more, feeling was more earned in that one compared to his own movie. I'm still gonna go definitely see Black Panther 2, but I just felt that his character was much more interesting in Civil War compared to his own movie. Continuing onward with this hot streak of Marvel-related opinions, I feel that, personally, Thor movies were always the weakest part of the MCU. Yes, that includes Ragnarok. I was never that big on Thor's character. I just kind of thought that he was just either a Shakespearean brute or a dumb jock goofball. And that personally was never that interesting to me. I did enjoy him in Endgame, where he used this tragedy the comedy Damascus Tragedy. I did enjoy that aspect, but then they went to being goofy comedy again in the later movies, so I personally could never get into Thor's character. I think Chris Hemsworth does a good job in the role. I personally, I just never could get into the character.
Waiting on you.
On a non-Marvel related note, I feel that the first Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movie gets a little too much hate. Like, it's obviously it's not the like peak cinema. There are obviously better Ninja Turtle movies out there, but I feel like this one at least was more tonally consistent with what it was going for, and at least it stuck to what its guns, like reshoots aside. Like I personally thought it was a more enjoyable movie than the sequel that came, which everyone just like definitely like seems it's better. I personally think it's worse. I think it's like I honestly think Out of the Shadows is worse than Turtles 3. Personally, I can't stand that movie. I just felt like it's just pandering nostalgia, like just pandering to be like the old cartoon, like with Krang, the Technodrome, Bebop, and Rocksteady, and all these like little references, which like just feel like they're dangling keys in front of your face the entire time for me. Like there's just so much stuff going on in the movie, so many side plots, and like I don't care for any of them. And plus what they did to Casey and Leonardo, just making them insufferable in the second one, like just absolutely just made me immediately dislike these movies. The second one. I don't mind the first one. I think it's a fine popcorn flick. 2, I think should burn forever with Turtles 3. We now transition into the wacky world of Broadway with these hot takes. I think that Avenue Q definitely deserved its Tony win for Best Musical over Wicked, and I say it with proud confidence because at least Avenue Q didn't have a messy second act, unlike Wicked, and at least it was totally consistent throughout and not having to rely on a dumb love triangle plot. My other theater opinion is that Dear Evan Hansen would work better as a horror musical than what it ended up being as. Like, you're really gonna have me cheer on a sad teen that weasels his way into a family just to get with their daughter. Like, come on now. No. I am also of the opinion that a Spider-Man musical could work with proper storytelling and music that was engaging. And my final opinion is that second acts of shows are better than the first act. Now we move on to video games. My first opinion is that Telltale's Tales from the Borderlands is up there as one of their best alongside Season 1 of Walking Dead. I personally believe that Sonic Colors is overrated and that there are better Sonic games out there to play. And I'm not just saying that just because I unfortunately bought Ultimate. Broken mess it all despite the patches. Kirby Star Allies is not the worst Kirby game in the series. That honor would go to Kirby 64.
You're not going forward, not with me too, yeah.
And lastly, we now head to comic book material, which is something I definitely have some thoughts on. I personally believe that TMNT by IDW should have ended around issue 100 because the current ongoing run by Sophie Campbell has not been that great outside of the first start of the run of Mutant City. But I am pretty excited for what they're going to do with Armageddon Games. I'm definitely not the biggest fan of keeping Spider-Man as a young high schooler. People grow old. Not every single iteration of Spider-Man needs to be a high schooler. People can relate to other people regardless of their background. Not everybody has to be a high schooler to be relatable. And Batman and Catwoman as an overrated pairing that only worked in Hush, and that's it. And that will do it for this episode of Zach's Art-Ful Podcast. Hope you weren't too upset about these opinions. After all, they're just mine and mine alone. Share some of your opinions down below. What are some unpopular opinions about media that you have? Of course, make sure you like, comment, subscribe for more episodes coming your way. Hope you have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Live, laugh, love.
Tired of waiting on you.